Hello, and welcome to today's Live with Leadership, Maintaining Connections and Community in the Midst of COVID-19. My name is Angela Hoffman. I use she, her, and hers pronouns, and I'm the Director of Professional Development in the International Office with ACPA College Student Educators International. It's great to have you here with us today. We would like to begin with a land acknowledgement. Related to our mission of supporting and fostering learning through the generation and sharing of knowledge, ACPA College Student Educators International would like to acknowledge that the land each of us is on today is the original homelands of Indigenous and tribal nations. We acknowledge the painful history of genocide and forced removal from these territories, and we honor and respect the many and diverse Indigenous peoples still connected to this land. ACPA strongly advocates for higher education and student affairs professionals to honor the land, the original tribal occupants, and the history of the place where you're located. Further, we have a responsibility to continually self-educate, reflect, and listen to the histories and people in our areas, including tribal land acknowledgements in practice, and understanding and acknowledging history is not only respectful and educational, it is the justice-oriented advocacy necessary for continuing the work of dismantling the devastating effects of settler colonialism in our society. Today, we'll be connecting with ACPA President Vernon Wall, who will be sharing updates from the association and details about professional development opportunities as we continue to navigate the COVID-19 pandemic. If you have a question, you can make a comment on this post and we'll be sure to address those. Thanks again for joining us today, and I'd now like to introduce your ACPA President, Vernon Wall.
Thanks, Angela. Hello, everyone. Vernon Wall, he, him, his pronouns. So excited that you can spend a little bit of time with me. I just wanted to hang out a little bit and share a few things with you, just so you know where I'm going to be going over the next 20, 30 minutes or so. I'm going to talk a little bit about COVID-19 and our association's presence within higher education. I'm going to talk a little bit about self-care and my plea to you to take care of yourself. I'm going to share a little bit about professional development opportunities with ACPA and membership. I'm going to talk about our strategic plan. I'm going to talk a little bit about ACPA financial forecasting and give you an ACPA 21 Long Beach update. So that's where I'm going. So you'll get a sense for where I'd like to spend some of our time. Now, please, if there are some things that you want to know about, I will either respond here or respond via Twitter or Instagram if we don't have enough time, but I'll definitely respond. So let me start off by saying thank you and just gratitude. I know that we continue to be in a time that is challenging, and it's also historical. I don't want us to lose sight of the fact that we are making history in higher education as we move through what is something that is completely, out of the realm of we didn't know this was going to be something we were going to be engaging. And so I want to first begin by saying just gratitude for all of the work that all of our student affairs professionals are doing on their college and university campuses. I'd like to do a quick shout out to my housing and residential life folks. My first 15 years in student affairs was working in housing and residential life, and I know the tremendous strain that our professionals, all of our professionals are experiencing. And I just want to make sure that folks recognize the fact that, our housing and residential life folks are continuing to balance and react and respond. So to all of you, thank you, and know that we're here for you. I try to, when I share comments with you, is have a resource that I want to just share that I think would be helpful as you continue to navigate. The resource that I want to share on this interaction with you is a document from ACE, the American Council on Education. This week they released Recovery 2020, which is key questions and principles for college leaders or campus leaders as folks talk about reopening and what that looks like. the reason why I want to share this with you is because I believe that as student affairs professionals, we must be thinking really what our presidents are thinking, or at least knowing what our presidents are thinking. And so ACE is a great resource. We're going to put the link in the chat box so you'll have that. But this is something that presidents are using to think about what recovery and reopening looks like. And I want to share that with you as a document, because as we continue to engage the impact of COVID-19, know that, number one, ACPA is representing you in the higher education community. All of the higher education associations are in partnership to really navigate this. And so what we're so lucky to have Chris Moody as our executive director, and he is working hand in hand with every other higher education association to really be a resource for all of us. Now, what you need to realize, in most industries, there is not the camaraderie and the connectedness and the community that we have in higher education associations. We all know that we are in this together, and that's about being for and with students in this pandemic. And so know that that's happening, and know that we're going to continue to update you on policy decisions, not only within our government, but also too within the Department of Education. And we're going to monitor what does it look like to be open as we move into the fall. And open could mean hybrid, could mean full, could mean online only. We know that there are many opportunities for folks to engage, and we're going to try to just monitor that as it changes hourly and daily and weekly. Also too, I think many of you have seen that the Chronicle of Higher Education has developed a crowdsourcing list of campuses in terms of what they're thinking about now in terms of when they're opening, what type of opening they're going to be doing. I'd encourage you to Google, Chronicle of Higher Education, college openings, and that link will come up and you can monitor that. So know that we're here and we're going to be supporting you in any way we can, which leads to my second piece, which is around self-care. Please, whatever that is for you, this is tough time. These are tough times. Whatever that is for you, to take some time to be with yourself and be who you are in the world. I think what I know about student affairs professionals is that we want to make sure that our students are taken care of. And much of our time is making sure that that is a reality. And I know that that is a part of who we are. And we cannot take care of others if we're not taking care of ourselves. So whatever that is for you, please do it. For me, every week, it's on a Friday or Saturday, or Saturday or Sunday, if it's clear in Washington, D.C., I kind of social distance walk with my friends around D.C. for about an hour and a half. And that is so relaxing for me. And that is something that I will continue to do until we are in a different space where we can be out and about. Now, keep in mind, we are social distancing and making sure that that's happening, but it's just good for me to get out. So whatever it is for you, please do that. I want to talk a little bit about professional development. I'd like to say, and I'm going to be completely candid with you, and that is that if there's ever a time when you should be a member of ACPA, it's now. And the reason why I'm saying that is because for many of you, your travel budgets will or have already been cut and slashed, specifically for in-person gatherings. Our hope is that that will change as we move to the spring. But right now, what we're hearing is that many of you aren't able to travel and participate in professional development opportunities. Now, as a result, this is why you should definitely be a member of ACPA at this point, because of the professional development opportunities that we'll be offering for our members, and we have offered at low cost and even no cost. So a couple of things to point out. First of all, I think many of you will remember that in March, right after the convention, the International Office rolled out a series of sort of crowdsourcing conversations that were free for anyone to just talk and just gather to get prepared for what we did not know was going to be happening, but we knew we were going to be impacted in some way by COVID-19. The beginning conversations were coordinated by ACPA. And during that week, over 2,500 people participated in those conversations, which in my mind is amazing. And a huge thank you to the International Office for their work on that. And I was involved in all 5 of those that week, and it was tremendous to see the crowdsourcing, to see the conversation. The Google Docs are still available if you want to look on the web, on our ACPA website. and take a look at some of the comments that were made. What I love about it, the Google Doc really had folks asking questions and people responding saying, I have some answers for you, or I have some resources, or I've done this already. Now, as a result of that very popular week, we're going to offer another series of free crowdsourcing conversations in partnership with the Washington Consulting Group that's coming up in June, really about possibility. So now that we're in a space where we've sort of navigated and traversed through a few months of this, now what are some things that we're thinking about that we need to have conversations with others about in terms of possibilities? And so look for that email that will be coming out about the next free group of crowdsourcing conversations, and it'll be on our website. So please take advantage of those. We also have ACPA to go, which are webinars that are at low cost that for ACPA members that we'd love for you to make sure that you're involved in. And also too, keep in mind that we have 2 online professional development offerings that are coming up pretty soon. Our Program Design School, which is June 17th and 18th, and our Student Affairs Assessment Institute, which is the 23rd to the 26th. Now, what you need to know is the Program Design School tends to fill up quickly. As a matter of fact, the only one left right now is the June 17th and 18th one. So jump in right away if you want to be involved in that. And also too, the Student Affairs Assessment Institute has a long history of being a phenomenal experience. And while we won't be able to offer it in person this year, I know that the curriculum will be amazing once again for the Institute. So Student Affairs Assessment Institute, June 23rd to the 26th, please share this with folks on your campus because that is an outstanding opportunity for folks to be involved in. Pretty soon, actually within the next week or so, you'll be getting an email about our strategic plan. We've been working over the last 2 years to develop a strategic plan for the association for the next 5 to 7 years. And so just know that you'll be getting an email that will give you an overview of what we'll be sort of focusing on as we move forward. And if you see anything within that strategic plan that you would like to be involved in terms of giving us some feedback on, just connect with us via Instagram or Twitter and let us know. But we're so excited that we're going to be rolling out we're going to do some phases. There's no way that we can actually roll out a complete strategic plan in terms of implementation. So we'll be rolling out phase 1 within the next year, and then with future presidencies, rolling out the final, the final pieces of that. The question that I get probably the most from people around ACPA is, how are we doing? And I know that when people ask me how are we doing, they're meaning how is ACPA doing financially? So what I want you to do is get ready. If you tweet or Instagram, you can do this. Vernon says, we're good. We're good, y'all. That's what I want you to tweet. We're good. And the reason I say that is because every association in higher education is impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Everyone. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we are so lucky that we're in partnership with other associations to have these conversations, to talk with each other, to problem solve, to strategize. We've got Chris Moody, who's right there, who's doing some amazing work. Just know that we're financial forecasting. That's what we're doing. We've got to be thinking about ACPA as an association in not only currently, but also too in September, October, November, December, and beyond. So what we're doing is we're continuing to just forecast, how are we doing? What's happening? Financially right now, we are sound. We know that we will continue to be impacted though by COVID-19, so we've got to be on it. And so what we're doing is our governing board is continuing to review where we are financially every week to make sure that we are doing well, we're connecting with others. So know that we're good, and we also have to be extremely, we have to be frugal and also to extremely focused on making sure that we are financially solvent as we move forward. What can you do to assist us in this? Well, a couple of things. Number one, renew your membership now. I actually just did this last week because I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do it now because it's $99. So this is the deal. So I would encourage you to not only renew your membership, but also forward the ACPA membership just to others that aren't members. And just we want folks to just renew and have others to join. Also, too, if you are in a place where you can register for the convention in Long Beach now, do it. I know that for many of you, you don't really know yet what your travel situation will be. If you do know that you do have funds and you're available to do that, go ahead and use it now. And you're able to lock in your place in Long Beach. So those are some ways that you can really assist us. Also, too, sign up for as many of the professional development opportunities as you can financially. We'd love for you to be a part of that in some sort of way. So that's how you can help us. And we'll keep you updated as we know more. The other question that I get most often is about Long Beach, ACPA 21. Will we have an ACPA 21? The answer to that question is yes, we will. We will have an ACPA convention. You've heard it from me. We will. Now, what will it look like? We don't know. Will we be in Long Beach? We could. Will it be a hybrid of us being in Long Beach and maybe virtually? We could. Could it be all virtual? We could. It could be anything because we don't really know what the state of California, along with our country and along with our members, where will we be in March of 2021? But know that Bernie and the convention team are completely excited about providing an opportunity for you. They are ready. And I believe that they see this as a challenge, and I know they do, that we are, no matter what, going to step forward with an amazing experience for our members in March of 2021, whatever that may look like. And we're going to monitor what we can and can't provide for you in the state of California. That's really what it is. And so just know that something's going to happen and we'll be available for that. So those are some updates for you. I was thinking the other day that, our tagline is boldly, we are about boldly transforming higher education. And, it's amazing that we have our members who are continuing to boldly transform higher education. You're doing it through the engaging with students and faculty and staff on college campuses during the COVID-19 pandemic. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better example of boldly transforming higher education than what you're doing now. So I just want to continue to praise you for your work, to say thank you, and to say, let us know how we can be of assistance. We know that for many folks, there are fears and concerns about furloughs and about layoffs and about folks not being able to financially be involved in higher education arenas. And as a governing board, just to let you know, we are having some conversations about how we, along with the foundation, can provide support for our members in order to be involved in either the convention or professional development opportunities. And know that, as you think about ACPA 21, I do want us to be in Long Beach if we can, mainly because I believe that we owe it to the state of California and our members there to provide an opportunity. So get ready, California, because we're going to be encouraging all California student affairs professionals to join us in Long Beach if we can. If not, we will definitely have something that will be one for the books as we move forward. So thank you so much. I don't know, I want to see if Angela, we've got a little bit of time. Were there any questions? Anybody have any reactions or thoughts?
Let's take a look here. We have some comments of hello to Vernon. I'm not seeing any questions here yet. We can certainly pause for a bit. And then if any do come through too that we can't address live, we will make sure to address those afterwards in the comments. And as Vernon said, by Twitter and Instagram and the various ways that you can connect with your ACPA president. I want to thank you again, and thanks to Vernon, and thank you to everyone for joining us. This Facebook Live session is recorded and will continue to be available on our Facebook page, and it will be captioned within 24 hours on that recording that's on the Facebook page. We invite you, as Vernon mentioned, I saw lots of hearts and likes popping up on the screen. Vernon, when you were talking about the ACPA 21 convention, March 14th through 17th, of course, want to invite everyone to continue these conversations at ACPA 21, the 14th through 17th of March, in the many ways that that may look like that we just don't even know yet. But there's something so special about being in community with one another, and certainly looking forward to that time when we can gather again. And we also want to invite you to join us for some of the other events that Vernon mentioned. So joining us for those upcoming ACPA to Go webinars, a possibility conversation with the Washington Consulting Group, or maybe it's our upcoming Program Design School or Student Affairs Assessment Institute that'll meet your professional development needs. We're really striving to get you timely information and information that will continue to support your continued development. So there's all that coming up this summer and probably even more to come. And want to wish you again all the best as we continue